Hello everyone, in this video I will show you how to add this access control panel to Home Assistant by the ESPHome so that you can use this input a number and control a special relay output. Such as you can see, I can input 101 enter. So this relay will be on and 101 enter. The first relay will off. If I input 102 enter, the second relay will be on and 102 enter. The second relay will be off. So this time I will show you how to step by step and use this access control panel. And you can see this is the version of I input the number. And you can see here the other device so that you can see you can use the fingerprint so that we can use the fingerprint to control different relay. And here you can see that is another one that only by the password, and also you can use the IC card. Okay, let's look at the hardware details, how to integrate it. And in this panel, we have used the Wiegand protocol. So you can see here, that is very important. You need to understand what is Wiegand. So this interface, you can see the search from the Google that have very popular have used is have a long history that from the 1980s. So this can easily used by the access control system. So you can see there are almost 2-1. So in your ESPHome, you can see that also can support the Wiegand keypad and the reader. And this is the one photo and like this one. And we can see these images and almost the Wiegand. You can see that have a D0 and D1. So you can see the D1 and D0. These 2 points. So you can see that is D0 and that is D1. So every panel you can see there are so much ones. And also you can see that have so much ones, but we only need to use 2-1. Just these 2-1, the green and the white, so that when you press the key and use the IC card and use the fingerprint, that will output the data from these 2 ones. So we just need to decode this one output signal so that we can control the different relay just according to the different data output. So you can see this have 3 kinds of access panel, the first one, second one, and the third one. There are many user menu, but you can see here, this one is this one. You can see here, the lock and connect with this just a relay board. This is E16S board because there have extended GPIO I can use. So you can see that have a WG1 and WG0 and connect with this board, only these 2 dates. And also you can see this panel user menu, just this one. And let's look at, you can see this user menu. Also you can see that D0 and D1. The D0 is green and the D1 is white. And also you need to 12 volt for the power and the ground. So totally you just need 4-1, just 12 volt, ground, and D0 and D1. And this is the third, this one is this one. You can see the menu. And at here, you can see also is green and the white. So that for D1 and D0. So the D1 and the D0, that is the standard interface of the Wiegand. So this is need to confirm your access panel have these 2 Wiegand wires, so that will be very easy connect to the ESP32. Now I have used this E16S board, but actually you can use any of ESP32 board. So you can see this E16 board, because this time I have used this. There have a external serial port, so that have 2 GPIO pins I can use. I also have integrated with the A32 board. So you can see here in our form, I have integrated this A32 board from these 2 two cables from this kinds of access panel and this kind. So under the ESPHome config file, you can download. Because you can see here, our PCB design, this is E16S, so we can see the 3D. And you can see here, just I use these two pins. And if you use the A32, and we can see the 3D mode. And also you can see here is a socket that have the ground, X and TX and 5 voltage. Actually, we only use the X and TX, just these two pins of ESP32. So you can use any ESP32 module, just choose two GPIOs, connect with your access control panel, it work well. Okay, let's look at, you can see that is the Home Assistant. I have integrated this board to Home Assistant. You can see I can turn on and turn off, and all on and all off, because I have set the interlock mode, so some channels will not work at the same time. And now you can see I can use this access panel and turn on relay 1 and turn off relay 1. If I remove this USB cable and remove this network cable, you can see that is disconnect. The Home Assistant now it can't work, but you can see I can also use the access panel. So this can control relay 1 and 102, that is control relay 2 on. So this is working locally, without internet, without network, without Wi-Fi. Just it connect to it directly, so that can work well if without any network. So I can turn off. This you can set by the ESPHome which number and which finger you can control this panel. So now let's look at the hardware. I have hot one. This is the pin define. 1, 2 is 12 volt power supply and ground, and D0 and D1. So you can see I just use this cable. The red have connected with this 12 volt, and the black ground. This is ground because I have connected with the power together. And these two lines, D1 and D0, I have connected to this terminal. You can see here these two cables I have connected with these two GPIO pins. And this is power not needed to use, and the fourth is ground not needed to use. So you can see I just use this middle two pins at here. This 5 volt not used, and this ground is not used, just these two pins. Okay, now I will connect this network cable and the USB cable and show you how it works with the Home Assistant and how to set in the Home Assistant. You can see here that is ESPHome, Wiegand, and Keypad. You just copy and paste. It's very easy, so that you can define the D1 and the D0, these two pins. This D1 is used by the Wiegand, not ESP32 D1 and D0. So this D1 and D0 is for this Wiegand protocol. And we just copy this code and to your ESPHome. So you can see here, I can go to the ESPHome, and that is E16S board. This board is online. So I can click edit, and you can see here that I have copy and paste it here. I had defined, this is the ID, just choose by yourself, and this is GPIO defined for this ESP32 two pins, and this is output. The key have pressed and saved to the X, and this is the tag that have use my finger. Later I will show you why it works. And this time we can also add this code that is for key collect. So you can see that is a key collect component of the ESPHome. So that because every time I press a button, I press a key, that will consist with a number. So you can see here, I also copy and paste this code and to my ESPHome, just at these sections. So this is very easy to change. So you can see here the ID, just the pin lead defined by yourself, and the source ID, my keypad, because we have created the keypad. You can see here just my keypad, and this is the mini length, just 3 number, because I have input 101, so that means the 3, and the max also is 3. So I only accept you input the number 3 bit, and the end key, that is this button and this one, you can see here, and that is this one for end. If you want to use by this way, you can change. And this is true because we need an end key. And this is back. Maybe sometimes you have input wrong. You can backspace, and use this button. And this is for clear, but I have not have this C. If your pad have this C, you can set at these sections. And this is timeout. If you input the button, but the timeout, that is 5 seconds, or you can set large or smaller. And unpress process, that is important. This will be feedback. And this is input in progress. That mainly just this means in progress. And if you input these buttons, that is end, so that will be a result. This is the result, and for the X. So we just make a condition for the X. So if the X is 101, I will toggle the switch that E16S output 1, because I have create, you can see here, I can create the switch that is E16 output 1, just this ID, output 1. So if I have returned the X that is 102, so we can toggle the switch that is E16S output 2. So if you want to change to 202 and that continually 1, so you just can change this number. So that will be very easy. If you 3103, that continually 3, so you just change by this way. So this is up to you. And this because I have 3 bit. You can see that is 3 bit. If you can change to the 4 bit like this, the 4, so maybe you can set 1001, that is continually 1. So this is can input 4 number and to turn on and turn off the relay 1. So now I can change to the 3, so that I can save the time and only input 3 number. Okay, you can see this is the code, so that is very easy. But the important is how to monitor the log output. So you can see I can click save and click install and click by the USB cable, because I have already installed. So I can cancel it. I just click to monitor the logo file. You can see here I can click logos by the USB cable and click. Now you can see here this is logo output. You can see I press button 1. You can see that ESPHome have the code that is 1. You can see this is input progress, because I have not input the end button. So if I can input 3 button 101 end, and you can see that means the result, the input is the result. I have inputted 101 because we have a start and we have end of this button. So this have the code as a whole number. So the E16S board, you can see the relay output is on because it's talking, it's on. So if I can press this 102 end, and you can see that you have the code, the input result is 102. So that we can toggle the relay 2. So you can see this relay 2 is toggling. So if I can input 1, 2 not have the end, you can see that means in progress. That means not have the end button, just you can use for some speak. When you press this button, maybe have a music or maybe have a speak, just have a voice. So if you have pressed this 3 button, 1, 0, 3, end. So that means the result, because we have defined the 3 numbers of the panel. So you can see this have received RAW, that is a code for the Wiegand. And this is received the key. You can see I can press 1, that the key is 1. And if I can press this button 2, you can see that is received 2. And if I can press this 9, so you can see that is press 9. So this can decode every button the information output to the ESPHome, and the ESPHome can create the automation. So you can see here, because we can decode on key, on tag, on RAW. The RAW is the code of the buttons. The tag I will show you that used by the finger and the IC card. I will show you later. So this key also is very useful. And when you decode this key and tag and RAW, so you can create home automation in ESPHome, because this have an action, so you can do anything you want, like turn on relay 1, 2, 3, or this button, and turn off relay 1, 2, 3. Just it's up to you. So use this is decode and create the automation. And this is how to work in Home Assistant because of the Wiegand Keypad components. So this is very useful. Okay, let's look at another keypad. Now I will show you how to work with the fingerprint. So that will be useful. We can use a different finger and control this different relay. Okay, let's power off and disconnect. Okay, now I have removed this cable from this board. You can see here. Now I will show you and connect to this panel. And this is this one. And also we will use this just 4 ones. So you can see that is for power, and that is for ground, the black, and this is for date, the green, and the white. Just these 4 ones to use. Okay, we have prepared this panel, and you can also see the logo file output and by the USB cable. And now you can see it here. If I can press this finger, and you can see that have output the information. That means the tagging. This is tagging tool, because I have already registered with this 2 finger. This is the finger 2 and the finger 3. I have registered. So you can create many fingers, so that you can create the 10 finger to your panel, no problem. And this is my 3rd finger. You can see here, if I can press this finger, and you can see that have received the tagging. The value is 3. So I have created the 2 automation. That's the finger 2, we have control this relay, and the finger 3, I can control this relay. So you can see if I can press this finger, that will speak thank you, and turn off this relay. And this finger, you can see here, that this relay is off. So I can tagging these 2 relay by finger. So this time you can see the output, that is tagging. So you can see the ESPHome. You can see here, this time that is output from this tagging value. So we can just compare this X. We can go to the ESPHome and edit. You can see here, this is on tag automation. So you can also use this code. You can see this is the code I just pasted from the ESPHome. and you can just create if condition, and if the x is 2. This ID I have preset from my fingerprint to the access country, let it output 2. And if output 2, that will be tagging this E16S baud relay 1. If I can get the X is 3, just this finger, so that will tagging the E16S baud relay 2. So this can, according to the different finger ID, this is the finger ID, and countering it differently. So if I need to add the first finger, I can show with you how to work it. This need to see your access control system, because this have a code how to add the finger. So this is how to add the finger. So that is add the administrator password. Firstly, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Enter admin state.
This administrate, and now I can add a finger, new finger.
Please press the finger.
This one.
Please press finger again.
Again.
Please press finger again.
Again, 3 times.
Please enter the number.
Okay, this number just is target number, so I can create 4. And enter.
Registered successfully. Please press the finger.
Okay, you can see this finger have registered. You can see.
Finger already registered.
You can.
Please press the finger.
Okay, you can see. Now I can exit because I don't want to register my finger, so I just can press this.
Exit admin state.
Yes, this is exit management. Now you can see I can click this ESPHome and logo output and by the USB cable. And now you can see I will use this finger. I have registered new. So you can see here.
Thank you.
And you can see that have received the tagging is 4. So this the number 4 I have registered to this access country, and let this input is 4 because I have created. So you can create this 5, the 5th finger, that you can let the tag become 5, and this becomes 6 and 7 and 8, 9, 10. So you can create tagging from 1 to 10. So you can do some automation from different relays, so that the first you can relay 1, and the second you can relay 2, and the third you can relay 3. And just up to you, you can define different finger for different sys mode. So just according to this tagging. So you can see here the tagging. So you can create, if I can let the relay 3 and control by my 4th finger. So you can see I just can copy and paste this if condition. Copy and paste. It's very easy. Just paste it here. And the condition, that is a 4, because my new finger is 4. And choose this 3, output 3. So you can see I can save and install by the USB cable. Wait for a moment. Okay, now you can see the home assistant is connected successfully. Now we can test with the 4th finger that have new register. So you can see there.
Thank you.
And you can see that will speak thank you. Because I have set the channel 3 is auto off. So you can see I can turn on and turn off. This is automatically turn off because you can see here that the relay 3 that have a auto off for 1 second. So that I can use this finger for output a pulse. So that will be auto off after 1 second. So this is how to use the finger to control this differently, and use this panel and input the password or input the number to control the relay. So you can use any access control panel, just use the Wiegand protocol, integrate the home assistant for the automation very easily. Okay, thanks for watching.